getting the worst thing.
Twice as he thinks that he mentioned at the last meeting.
Yes, it is.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the meeting of the charity. First item on the agenda is to receive apologies. Yes.
Can we read the names out,
Sorry.
please? Can I just ask what's that? Are you vice chair of the charity meeting?
Yes.
Can I ask you, when did we elect you vice chair? Just for clarity.
The charity is governed by the parish council, and the parish council vice chair becomes automatically the vice chair of the charity.
I beg to differ, but we'll sort that out at the next charity meeting. People for what apologies is Councillor Bridges, St John, Burton and Brindley.
Thank you very much.
Can I just make a point then? I take it that you've not resigned as vice chair of the parish council.
That's correct.
So you're not intending to?
I'm not going to discuss that at this point. It's not.
Well, I think that's totally irrelevant because
Irrelevant.
you've been asked to resign. How can you chair this meeting?
Well, I'm not aware of being asked to resign.
Well, you should have been by now because the decision was made at the parish council.
Was it indeed?
Yes, it was.
Was it?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we just go
So
through the chair? Can we go through the chair?
Can we
Let's ask
just
the
carry on with the...
Excuse me, we're speaking.
Yeah.
Just
Can we just carry
clarify
on?
some quite important points.
Can you just...
Can we ask,
carry on with the
can we
agenda?
go through the chair to
No.
ask
No,
the
I
clerk
think
to send
as
the letter?
chair, I think you'll find that we can...
Why do you insist on talking over me when I'm trying to talk? I'm asking that we're trying to clarify a quite an important point,
Which is?
which that we believe you may have been sent a letter asking you to resign as vice
I
chair.
have not received a letter.
Right, could we ask through the
No,
chair?
because-
Why are you speaking over
No,
me again?
Councillor Thornton, please be
Why are you
quiet.
speaking over me
I am
again?
speaking of you because it is not an agenda item. There is nowhere on here that we are to discuss this item, okay?
So
So we
just
are not...
because you don't
so
like
we
the
are-
awkward questions,
we
you start
are, no,
overruling
we
us.
are not discussing it because it's not part of the
Exactly.
agenda.
We're not discussing it because you don't like the awkward questions.
We're not discussing it because it's not part of the agenda, okay?
It's totally invalid.
Sorry, Councillor
I
Jackson.
say, as far as I'm concerned, it's totally invalid, this meeting, if
Okay.
you're chairing it, because the same being asked to resign.
You're free to leave.
No, I'm not going to leave.
Okay. To declare any interest in any of the matters to be considered.
I suppose I'm possible. Does that count us that's coming
No,
down?
no, it doesn't.
Right,
So,
okay.
no, it's members of the council.
Right.
Okay, to identify items which the press and public may be excluded. Have you got any of those?
Excuse me, could you use microphones, please? My hearing's not too good.
Yeah, I'm on. Please.
Are you on?
Yeah.
Is yours on, Stuart? Microphones, please. I can't hear very well, I'm sorry.
Okay. To confirm the minutes of the meeting held on Wednesday the 3rd of September and Monday the 29th of September. So we'll do the 3rd of September first. Can we confirm those minutes? Who was there?
Not me.
I can confirm
Excuse me, which ones are we talking
We're
about?
talking about the meeting of the 3rd of September.
Can I just raise a point on page 2, please? Page 2, at 035 oblique 14, under other matters, with reference to the filming. It
Sorry,
was
which item?
03514 on page 2.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Right, it says filming of meetings, and it goes on to say, it was noted that Charity Commission Guidance Note CC 48, Section 78 and 79, Appendix 6, states that non-trustees should not be present at meetings of a charity unless invited to attend. Can you confirm, Councillor Dog, if you're attending this meeting as a trustee?
I can indeed.
Pardon?
Yeah,
You attend this meeting as a trustee?
I certainly do.
Right, well I beg to differ because no councillor around this table attends a meeting of a charity as trustees. And I think you were aware.
I am the vice chairman of the parish council, and as such, the parish council is the trustee of the charity.
Just let me finish. See, you interrupted while I was trying to make a point
I'm
again.
sorry, I think it's a bit...
And now you're talking over me again. I want to point out a very important thing that was done at the last charity meeting. It says non-trustees should not be present. You know, as well as I do, as well as the clerk does, and everybody else around this table, that when we attend these meetings, we attend these charity meetings as councillors. We do not attend these meetings as trustees. Therefore, if you're saying, as you did in the last meeting, that non-trustees are not allowed to be present, then no councillor around this table is allowed to be present in a charity meeting. And again, could I ask where Appendix 6 is to CC 48? Because I've looked on the charity's website and there's nothing there.
Okay, so that's around accuracy.
Right, so what we've done is now we've changed it onto the accuracy of the minutes because you haven't got the true answer. The true answer is, if non-trustees are not allowed around this meeting, we cannot sit around this meeting. So I suggest that the council needs to look at what's going on.
Absolutely no idea where you're coming from with this.
Exactly.
So if I can't sit here, you can't sit here either.
Right, you say, look, let's just reiterate what you said. You said, I have absolutely no idea what you're on about. You've been on this council longer than me.
Councillor Thornton, I think it's enough.
So you're talking of me again?
Yeah, I think it's time you were quiet because what you're trying to do, you're being very technical, and actually we sit here as a trustee, as parish council for the charity.
No, I don't sit here as a trustee, and neither do you. Will you
here,
stop talking over me when I'm trying to make a point,
we
please?
sit here as the charity trustee.
No, you do not sit here as a charity trustee.
The parish council members,
Right.
we...
Would you like to ask legal advice from the clerk who sat next to you whether we attend these meetings as trustees?
I would like you, yeah, go on.
The topic under debate is the accuracy of the minutes. It's nothing to do whether those minutes are correct technically or not. Appendix 6 is attached to these minutes, which are going to be signed off. CC 48 is available on the website, and under section 79 it says we would expect non-trustees to be present only for relevant agenda items and so on and so forth. Now, what that means in reality to this parish council is for another debate. That was stated in the meeting, that's why it's minuted, and that we're talking about the accuracy of the minutes only.
Right. In that case then, I'd like to say these minutes are inaccurate. There may well be a record of what happened, but they're making a false statement. No councillor around this table sits around this charity meeting as a trustee. And I would have thought, Councillor Dawn, you've been on this council a lot longer than I have, I would have thought you knew the rules by now.
Okay.
It's clearly you don't.
Thank you for your contribution there, Councillor
A
Thornton.
useful
Can we move to accept these minutes? All those in favour?
Is that just a Wednesday the 3rd?
This is Wednesday the 3rd. Yeah? Okay, those are accepted. Any against? Okay. Okay. And then the 29th of September. Okay, no? Councillor Jepson, you were there?
Yeah.
Do you want to?
No, that's fine.
They're all right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll second that. All those in favour of accepting those? Okay. Next item is to approve payments. So we have. Has anybody got any questions on these? You have them before you.
question, please. On item, well, we'll go from the bottom, third up from the bottom,
Yeah,
the grass cutting and little stones, the
Yeah.
Stones End.
yeah.
Can I ask, through the chair, ask the clerk, why are we employing outside contractors to cut grass that our workers could cut?
I don't believe that our workers could cut that grass.
Right, and why wouldn't they be able to?
Do we
Because
have
we don't
the,
have the machinery.
we don't have the machinery.
Right, okay, all right, no problems.
Thank you. So can we approve those? All in favour? Yeah, thank you. To request a grant from Anston Parish Council for £5,000 plus £4,453.27 to cover staffing costs for October 2014.
Can I just ask the question, Chair? Have we had... Oh, we don't know the press and publicity bit till later. Sorry, we identified.
Okay.
Yes, so,
Okay, can we request that grant? Can somebody move that?
what was it again? Sorry, the figure.
5,000 plus £4,453.27.
Yeah, I can move that.
Seconded. All those in favour? Yeah, thank you. To approve the accounts for August 2014, including the overview, accounts for publishing on the website. So, the accounts, first of all, one. Can you agree that one? Yeah. Mover and seconder. Sorry, Martin. All those in favour?
Chair, can you ask the public to keep the noise down, please? What's funny about that, Mr. Cameron? It's a reasonable request.
Councillor Thornton, want to address your remarks to yourself?
Yeah, well, maybe you should listen when people are talking. These people here are told frequently to be quiet, but when it's your friends, you don't say nothing. See, I've just spoke again.
Anston Parish Council receipt schedule, that's that one. You happy with that?
Now, can I just ask a question?
Yeah.
Where does the football fees, where does that, is that from last season? Yes. Was collected, not, okay, not this season.
Okay.
And are we still owed any, or are we up to date?
Okay. Can we have a mover and a seconder?
I'll move that.
Yeah. Okay. All those in favour? Thank you. And then the payment schedule. Okay. All happy with that? And then mover. And then seconder. Thank you. All those in favour?
Sorry, just before we vote, can I ask a question on that,
Yeah.
please? 1, 2, 3 down, day services, replacement of an alarm in cabin.
Yeah.
Have we had a break-in quite recently?
Where?
In anywhere in the parish buildings within the last 3 to 4 months?
Breaking the compound.
Right. Because a little birdie told me we'd had a break-in. I just wondered why the council had not been informed that we've had another break-in.
The compound. Well, I was aware of it.
It's all right, I'll go check up more on it. So I've
Are
got
you
more
saying that there's
information.
been another break-in?
I don't know, I'm asking the question.
Well, the clerk's saying that there hasn't been a break-in as far as we know since
That's okay, I'm just gathering information.
compound.
The compound's the only breaking we've had.
Right, okay.
So can we approve those, please?
Now, can I ask another question?
Yeah.
We'll go down a bit further to check number 200565, and it regards the security. I'm not questioning the sum. We've had quite a few break-ins over the last 2 to 3 years. And I'm trying to question why we're paying such large sums for security when we're having break-ins. You know, should we not be looking into this issue further?
In terms of,
Well, is the security we've got working? Because I would suggest we have various forms of security. I would suggest if we keep getting broken into, that they're not working.
how many incidents could you think over the last two years?
I think at least 2, if not 3.
Would that be
However,
accurate?
maybe we need to discuss this at another
Would
meeting.
that be accurate, Michael?
stop burglars getting in. Security's there to control antisocial behaviour and grounds more than anything else.
I think if you...
So we're paying these vast sums a year then just to stop antisocial behaviour?
If you're concerned about that, Councillor Thornton, perhaps you should place it as an agenda item.
I think I should, because I think we need to have a proper discussion on security around the building and grounds.
Okay, so,
And the security at council meetings as well.
okay. So can we approve that? Yeah, seconded. Yeah, and all those in favour. Yeah, thank you. And then the accounts are reviewed for publishing on the Parish Council website. That's that one.
Yeah, I move that we accept that. I think it's already been
That's correct.
agreed at the last
All those in
meeting.
Can I
favour?
just ask a question? It's really Mark, which window? We're looking at the accounts overview now.
Yes.
Which is the window that's been replaced out of interest?
The first one, the old hall.
Is that because it was damaged or
The outside pane is smashed.
smashed? So, vandals.
Well,
Vandalism or accident, we don't know.
we've just been talking about security, and you've just told us that the security is there to stop antisocial behaviour, which includes vandalism.
I think the clerk said that it was unclear whether it was vandalism or an accident.
I think people have got the point.
Okay, can you prove that? Publishing. Yeah, thank you. Okay, to discuss the management accounts. Anybody want to raise anything on the management accounts?
Can I,
Councillor Thornton.
on the receipts headings, on the recreation ground, it says we're over budget, over and payments of £422. It says payment of last year's debt. Can I ask what the debt was, please?
No, that is on the income side.
No, it definitely says receipt headings there.
Yeah, receipts.
Receipt headings. All right, well, receipts are incomes.
Yeah.
Right, well, I'm asking the question. It says payment of last year's debt, does it
That
not?
was a payment to
Right,
us.
so what I'm asking is, what was the debt? Which debt payment was it?
It's the football ones, isn't it?
I don't know, I'm asking you, that's
It's
the
on-
question.
It's under the recreation ground, so we follow
Councillor
it.
Jepson's just asked that question 2 minutes ago.
Well, maybe I did, but I'm asking the question now. If you're
Okay.
saying it's the football, that's all I want to know. I'm only asking a question.
Okay.
We'll start from the government, please.
Okay, thank you. Shall we accept those?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. To discuss facilities, Parish Hall to consider public access Wi-Fi. I think that's me, isn't it? It's something that I've thought about for a long time, that we should encourage people to use the park, be able to use their own devices and have Wi-Fi beyond the building. And I think it would be a really good thing to... It started when I was on holiday in Portugal quite a few years ago now, actually, and I felt that we went into this particular park and people were using all their, laptops and phones and things, and it was, people were really occupied, and I thought what a great thing to do is to be able to bring people out into the park and then to be able to access their Wi-Fi. And I think, the young people that use the facilities might also feel the same. So, that was my suggestion. I don't have any costings or anything. I don't know whether you've been able to look at anything yet, Michael. So, I was wondering whether we might consider, looking at that as a feasibility, it's a possibility. Helen, did you want to say anything? It's okay.
I was just wondering about safety of it all, because I think that when you do log on to these public, I've never had them, but like with the BT Open net and whatever it's called, you have to actually log in and give an email address, don't you, to make it safe?
I think there's ways of doing it. I mean, I'm not techie at all, but I'm fairly certain that there are ways of accessing public, the council's Wi-Fi, but putting safeguards on.
Because that's where
Yeah.
the problem is, if someone comes and uses your internet and downloads illegal stuff,
Yeah.
and I think that's where there is a massive problem with it, so you have to be really careful.
Councillor Thornton.
It's very similar to what Councillor Ward just said. Is if somebody sat outside connecting to a Wi-Fi system that we are operating, I would suggest that we could be in some way legally responsible for content. And I would argue, for that one purpose only, one reason only I should say, we could be opening ourselves up to all sorts of very serious problems. I would suggest that maybe this needs to, if you're serious about allowing the public to use this, then it needs to come back with a full costing of how much the equipment's going to cost, the full costing per month for the Wi-Fi and etc. setting up, and the legal implications for the parish council. So until then, I would suggest that.
Is that a
Put it on hold.
proposal that we do that?
No, I'm not proposing at all. What I'm saying is I'm proposing that it goes on hold, this particular subject, until you come back with some proper detailed costings and the legal position of the parish council.
Pardon? Okay, that's
No, I propose that it be put on hold until Councillor Dalton comes back with
it's
full costings and the legal position of the parish council.
it's up for debate. Does anybody wish to comment on it? Helen?
Do you know, in theory, it's an absolutely fantastic idea. And this is only very personal to me, and I don't know whether I should actually say this. It's actually quite nice to come out here and
Not be
Harry
bothered.
not fit there doing this and stuff like that. Although I can still get my 3G, so it is nice to actually get away from
A bit of freezer.
having kids
Yeah.
who've got
Free
Yeah.
zone
Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
than
I like to go and have a walk down the stairs and I can't get 3G and
The
it's
thing
lovely.
is that oh yeah, I don't think it's extended to the stones. I was thinking of the sort of the recreation part, because you could get different strengths, can't you, that cover. It's a pity Councillor Stonebridge isn't here because he'd be able to tell us a bit more.
I don't know whether anyone else has got an opinion on
I agree with you. I think there's a lot of legal problems that we could encounter. And I know people can log on and I wouldn't like us to be caught out or something like that. But I'm like you, I like to have it's nice when you get on the train and there's services that you can get on and they don't bother you. And I think it would be the same.
It
Yeah,
isn't.
I mean, that's only my personal
Yeah,
opinion.
I know,
like
and that's mine as
a
well.
free zone in the middle of the village.
One of the things that concerns me is that we have issues with young people, and people say that they're, disruptive around the area. And if they've got something to do with their Wi-Fi, if they can connect to the Wi-Fi, it might mean that they're otherwise occupied and may be more productive. So it's a discussion point. I would personally like us to investigate it a little bit further to see. Yes, I agree, there might be some legal pitfalls, in which case we wouldn't go forward with it, and there might be some cost implications that we can't afford, so we might not go forward with it. But I would like us to move it to, get some details so that we can discuss it further properly. So,
Are we allowed to say this in any of these discussions or not?
I'm afraid not.
I just wondered.
There
It's
is
all
a,
right.
when is it? Is it the end of this meeting? Yeah.
Finance.
At the end of the finance meeting, which is the meeting that follows this meeting, you could have a comment, or you could write into us, or drop Michael an email. Unfortunately, this part isn't for public participation, so I'm sorry about
Just wondered. Yeah.
So how can I amend, shall we vote on Councillor Thornton's proposal to put it on hold and to take no action?
And investigate it.
No, I think
Oh,
Councillor
right.
Thornton was suggesting that we didn't do anything.
Just read out the proposal.
He suggested that it was investigated. Well, he suggested that you investigate it, but
Just read out the proposal, please, and then we can vote on it.
find out costs and legal implications.
Uh-huh.
You said by Councillor Dalton.
Well, that should be in the proposal then, should it not? If that's what I said in the proposal, and it was taken as a proposal, well, that should be the proposal, should it not?
Write it in if that's voted on.
You want me to write it on?
No, I'm saying if it's voted on.
What we'll do
That's,
is we're just confirming with you that your proposal is that we should find out further details.
my proposal is this, and let me say it again clearly, my proposal is this, that this particular item be put on hold until Councillor Dalton comes back with the full costings and the legal advice in relation to the parish council.
Okay. So I'd like to make an
Can I
amendment.
ask whether you were prepared to do that?
Well, I was going to make an amendment and ask if we can have a member of the team perhaps look into it, because no, I don't have the time to, or the skills to go away and find that information out. So my amendment would be that we ask possibly Siobhan to look into it at the first level before we go forward with any further discussions. So that's my amendment. Yes, Councillor Thornton.
So I'm now allowed to speak on your amendment.
Yes.
See, let me tell you what I did there, and I think it was probably noticed. I deliberately mentioned your name, Councillor, because... Sorry.
Yep.
Right. And the reason I did it was, if you come to this council with a proposal and an idea, I think it's reasonable to expect the rest of the councillors here to hear figures and facts, and hopefully for somebody to have done a little bit of work beforehand. What I've seen over time and time again is certain councillors around this table come with resolutions or proposals that are not funded, not fully thought through, and what they're expecting is other people to do the work for them. That's why I personally asked you to bring it all back.
And I'm saying, unfortunately, I'm not able to do that, so my amendment is that we ask a member of staff to take those first initial steps. So I think, unless anybody else has got anything they want to say on that, we can take the amendment first. Okay, so,
No.
yes?
Can I just make a comment? I think I'd like to discuss this further at the staffing subcommittee meeting, because it sounds to me that we're putting more and more work onto the office staff, and I've got some other issues that I could do with some help on, and I think we perhaps need to discuss it in another meeting to see how we've got staff time to do it. We seem to be behind with various things again, and I think we need to clear a backlog first before we start doing some of the other work. I've been speaking to Michael on another issue tonight about the Litch Gate, and I could do with some help on that, but the way we're going, I'm never going to get around to getting that support from the staff, because we keep getting more and more work put on them. So I think we perhaps need to see what sort of time is available for anybody at this moment in time before we sort of put anything on their doorstep to sort out.
Well, if it's any consolation, I'm quite happy for it to go into Siobhan's or Michael's priority list for them to prioritise as they see fit. But I don't think, unless we take a decision as to whether we actually want to find out about it or not, it will, nothing will ever happen.
I don't assume that we're prioritising, but I think we've got other things that perhaps are a higher priority than
Well, that's what I just
supplying
said.
Wi-Fi. So I think we need to say, I think we perhaps need to discuss it.
I'd rather not defer it to another meeting to discuss again. I'd like us to take a decision whether or not we think it's something that we would investigate or not.
I don't think anybody's against that. I think
So
it's just a
then it
question
would
of
have
fitting it into
Well,
resource
then
time.
it would have to go into the resource time as other priorities do for the staff to complete. Okay, anybody else want to speak on that? So the amendment is
Is that the Wi-Fi is on hold until a member of staff finds out the costs and legal implications.
Okay. That would be partly Councillor Thornton's and my amendment. Okay?
So what was that? The big councillors on spot?
That's your proposal with my amendment. That.
Right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine to put that forward.
I'll second it.
With all those in favour? 1, 2, 3, 4. All those against? 1. Those abstaining?
We've not asked for a recorded vote.
Pardon?
I'll
I
have
said we've
a
not asked for a recorded
I'll have a
vote.
recorded
so-
vote, please, Chair.
Councillor Crowther?
Yeah, I'm for it.
Councillor Dalton,
For.
Jarvis,
Against.
Councillor Jackson,
Abstain.
Councillor O'Brien,
For.
Councillor Thornton,
Against.
Councillor Ward.
For. Okay, that's carried. Thank you very much. So approve plans for hall and bowling pavilion prior to further consultation with staff and hall user. Is this you, Councillor Jackson?
Well, I haven't actually put this on. No,
Michael?
I haven't put this on.
It needs approving, doesn't it?
It needs approving, but I've got a problem again with this because we've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us. There were 5, 6 at the meeting last week, and I really would like. I'd like it actually. I know it's a charity facility, but I'd actually like. I know we've got some members of the public here tonight to give them a chance to ask some questions about this. Is there any way we can? I mean, we can go through it, but can we have the questions put at the public session? Because I'd like to just open it up a bit. I know we looked at it last week as a group, there's 6 of us, wasn't it? And it's just sort of like widening it out a bit. I mean, we can talk about it here, but as it stands, the members of the public can't comment on it in this particular bit.
Are you wishing to defer it, Clive?
Well, no, not really, because I think we need to move on with it, but I'd actually like to have some sort of discussion with members of the public as to where we are, rather than, I mean, we can say we approve them, etc., but I'd actually like to have a bit of dialogue with members of the public.
Is it like the consultation?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I suppose it is. I mean, it's, I don't know, I mean, I'll let Martin know, Stuart speak now, see what they're able to do with that.
Okay.
No, I mean, I was at the meeting, I know I had to leave relatively, but the plans look fantastic. I mean, it was great, the vision for all this motion, as I see, is prior to further consultation. You know, I'd be quite happy to approve those initial plans that I sat down and saw prior to obviously further consultation, so that's why.
As I say, if you're happy with that, then I'll go along with that. I mean, I've got an item further on about an email that Councillor Sindian sent about that meeting, which doesn't give the same sort of backing that you've did. I'm
Just on that, Clive, because I saw that email, but I did see the response, and Ian actually went on to say, yes, that's a good idea.
Well, which bit is that? Because I think you might be taking it out of context.
Oh, maybe, sorry, I saw a note that I think he sent to Michael.
He did ask him, you know, why. I think the thing was he questioned.
If
But the tone of the email was that we were a bit ambitious, but what you said there is just opposite to that, because you said they thought the proposal was fantastic.
Now, what I think Ian questioned whether the working group had been asked to look at the pavilion as well.
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't have gone ahead and done that without.
Now, Michael
I think that
responded said it
authority.
was. Ian's response then said, yeah, that seems sensible, good idea. I don't know if you see that.
Well, I didn't. I sort of, having sat there with the meeting and all that went off, I wasn't quite sure that was he was. I felt he'd sort of decided he was going to have the last word and question what we were doing, but we wouldn't have gone ahead with the proposals having not been done that with the clerk.
I only saw the email which did say from Ian that it was a good idea, so that's all I know.
Yeah,
Okay,
but it's
okay,
sort
let's
of
move along.
that.
Councillor Thornton.
Yeah, let's go back to this. Just for members of the public that are here, what's actually happening is there's a facilities group that meets quite regularly, chaired by Clive, and we're actually looking at making improvement to the parish hall here and improvements to the bowling green pavilion, etc. We've had some plans drawn up. They are subject to consultation, and the plan is to go out to consultation with the public, so you will be able to see what's probably proposed. It's a very early stage. There's nothing being set in stone at the moment. Can I just say one or two things? I'm a bit disappointed because the facilities group, they set up a meeting for councillors to be able to come and look at these plans. And at that meeting, there was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people. at that meeting. I know, Gordon, you couldn't get there because you sent your apologies. But out of a council of 15, that's a poor attendance. When councillors are trying to, should we say, move forward projects, they need support.
Okay.
Now, sorry, I'm not finished speaking yet.
Well, I
I'm just,
think what you're doing is
Stop talking over, you're talking over me again.
I think that's because
Right.
I'm the chair.
Yeah, but your chair is not supposed to interrupt people
I think-
when they're talking. They're supposed to
Well,
allow
I
free
think
discussion.
It's the discussion is when it's what you're doing now is you're being critical of other councils.
No, I can be critical. That's what I was elected for, is to criticise and hold people to account.
You've pointed to one person and said that they gave a reason, but other people may well
Well,
not
I mean,
have
well
the
done. I'm not
opportunity
that
to
far.
attend
You
those
interrupted
meetings.
me.
So, I'd just like you to stick to the subject in
Right.
hand.
So we'll go on. Other people may have sent their apologies, but again, out of 15 people, when 6 of them turned up and 3 of them from the facilities group, I find it quite poor. And I do appreciate that Councillor Crowther took time off work to come. It was noted and it was appreciated. Going on, if these projects are going to move forward, it needs the backing of the council. And quite rightly, again, we've only got half the council here tonight making decisions. And it's quite poor. Right, I'm going to move that we approve the plans subject to further consultation with staff, hall users and others as required.
Okay, so that's open for discussion. My first question is then, Councillor Thornton, is my first question as the discussion's open is what are the costings that go with this?
Right, as I said before, quite clearly, this is at a very early stage. There's no costings being
A bit like
involved.
the Wi-Fi then?
All right, so now we're playing games, are we?
Okay.
Right, so we're playing political games as normal, except you've been called out doing it. Right, there's no costings at the moment, because I've said, and I'm asking Clive to correct me if I'm wrong,
Okay.
it's at a very early stage, but however, I assure people in this room and around this table, at the right time, a full costing exercise will be done, because it will have to be done in order to get grants to make the building as we wish it. Scoring political points don't look good on camera.
Okay. Councillor Jepson?
Yeah, can I just, I mean, you were told this last week at the meeting by CS today, both the two people that were there said that no costings have been done yet. Why you've asked Councillor Thornton that question again tonight?
Because you
Because
can't
were
have it
told then.
both ways up. You can't say to me, you've got to have your costings, and then you can say, oh, well, we've got this
We're
very
not-
big project and there aren't
Oh,
no costings.
So you can't do cost. I think you've been
Well,
a
there
bit
you go.
disingenuous here.
No, I'm just pointing out
No, I'm sorry,
the
but
inequity between
there's
the two.
no
the two-
inequity. You've
yeah,
asked for
there is.
costings and that. The costings will be provided this. So
And
until
I'm
you've got a
I'm
finalised
asking you
plan,
whether there were
you
any
cannot do
costings,
any
and
co-
you've said no.
So
You
you're
were
talking
told
about
that last
Councillor,
week.
Councillor Jepson.
You were told that last week at the meeting,
Does
Councillor
anybody
Thornton, quite
else-
straightforwardly,
Does
that there
anybody
were no
else?
costings to
Yeah,
us yet,
and-
and they will not be supplied by us, but by
the
CS
members-
Surveying at
the
the end
members
of
of
the
the
day.
public have
Can I
a right to
stand
vote
on
as
point
well.
one?
Otherwise, it's just...
That's on point of order.
Which point of order are you referring
Just let me make an
Which point of
explanation.
order are you
I'm
referring
making an
to?
explanation.
Which point of order?
Don't start talking over me. I'm
Which
making an
point of order
explanation.
are you referring to?
I can stand here all night.
You
Are you going to allow me
can't.
to speak on
No,
the point of order?
I'd just like you
or
to
are you
tell
going to
me.
continually keep doing
I
what
would
you're
like you to
talking
tell me
about?
which point of order you're
Right.
speaking to.
I'm going to make an explanation,
Of what?
which is part of the standing orders if I wish. Right, to clarify a point I made earlier. Look at the standing orders if you wish, because I'm allowed to do it. If I stand on a point of order, I should be heard, I shouldn't be spoken over.
Just get on with it, Stuart.
Excuse me, I find that quite offensive.
Well, I'm sorry, but
When you
everybody
speak
else
to me,
here...
if I spoke to you like that, you would evict me from the
state what
meeting.
you want to say.
And I find your
Sit
tone,
down.
I find your tone of voice very
Okay,
offensive.
fine.
If I was to speak to you like that, I
You
would be evicted
frequently
from...
do.
No, I
Yes,
don't.
you do.
No,
Would you-
see,
would
when
you
you
please-
notice,
would you please
nobody
make a
else
point?
is saying anything
Would
at
you
all.
please make a point?
Right, my point's this. I've complained several times tonight already, and we're only in the first meeting,
Yeah.
that you have constantly spoke over me while I'm trying to speak. You've just now been doing it to Councillor Jepson. The idea of being elected to this parish council is we come here and we sit and we have free discussion. We're allowed to put our opinions, and it's very difficult putting our opinions when you are constantly haranguing us and talking over us and preventing us from doing that. My point of order is this, or next place is, please allow free discussion around this table.
Happy to
Because if you
have
don't allow free discussion, you will be seen as pushing your point all the time.
Happy to have free discussion around the table. Does anybody else wish to discuss this point? No? So, We have a proposal.
Approved plans subject to consultation.
Okay, all those in favour? Pardon? Oh, proposer, seconder.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those in favour?
I'd just like to make one last observation on it. It was a pity that Michael was unfortunately the course last week, otherwise I think he would have been able to clarify a lot of these points, and we wouldn't be coming back tonight asking the same questions that we'd already answered to the meeting last week.
Okay. Item B, Bowling Pavilion. To consider the irrigation system proposed by the Bowling Club.
Sorry.
I think Councillor Ireland would have been leading on this, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can't discuss it.
Can I just make a point? We have the audience tonight, Mr Gillen from the Bowling Club, and I presume it's that particular item that you've come to.
No, I just came because I'm interested
Well,
in
it was, but the fact is that you're here and you're probably aware of the situation. Again, we've got one of these on the charity, but we're not allowed to have anybody ask questions, and I'd like Mr Gillen to be given the opportunity to maybe put his views on this at some point in the meeting, even after the charity meeting finishes, whether we can discuss it now and then leave time for him to ask any questions at the end of that.
I just
Seems
have a
fair.
quick word with the clerk. Are we in a position to suspend standing orders to let this gentleman? If we wish, we can suspend standing orders for a few minutes to allow Mr Gillen, if you would wish to speak on this matter, if you are aware of the issues.
Yeah.
Just
Chair, can I just interrupt?
Just one second. No,
we don't have to suspend standing orders.
Right.
We can invite a member of the public
Okay.
to speak if we wish.
Can you just let me finish, please?
Well, you don't know way about it.
Well, I'm going my way about it.
But you go.
Okay, if you say so, Stuart. If members are happy, we can invite Mr Gillen to speak for a few moments on this proposal. So can I have a show of hands to see if people are happy to allow him to do that in this meeting? Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Mr Gillen,
Right, thank you very
do you want
much.
to just say a little bit about what you know about the proposal?
Well,
Have you got this?
yeah, I haven't got that one, the proposal. But I just know that whoever's cut our grass and done it this year, the bowling green's the best it's ever been. And it would have been even better if we'd got some form of irrigation. We've got none at all, and it drains pretty quickly up there as well. We have got water up there. There was a fountain up there for a long time. And I know last year, John Wright was out with the hose pipe just trying to keep the grass going. I know it's been exceptionally dry this year, but I just feel it will be brilliant for the club. And the club this year has been hosting county matches and all sorts because the green's been so good. And I just think it would,
So that's
reflect on the
quite a
county
feather for the club
and the area. And there's lots of people use the bowling green. And I'm looking forward to seeing about the pavilion. I knew nothing about this. But I did see...
It's a pleasant surprise for you.
It would be.
Can I just...
Councillor Jepson.
Mr Gill just made a point about the condition of the bowling green. I've got a letter here from Keith Grantham, who's the chairman of the bowling club. I'll pass this to Michael. He's asked me if I would pass the message on. People manage the cutting and looking after. I presume that's the Borough Council that do that. Is that right, Michael? I'd like to thank them for all the work they've done this year, maintain the excellent condition of the playing surface. We look forward to the reseeding and dressing that they do as required. I've also been asked that I think it does need reseeding, am I right?
Just certain areas.
Certain areas, I presume that's part of their schedule, is it, Michael? On that. So if I can pass you that's from Keith Grantham, who's chair of the bowling club.
Mr Gillen, can I just ask you, because this is all outside of any of my expertise whatsoever, you've had all this costed and everything, and quotation. Is it your intention that the club buys this themselves, or are you asking the parish council to pay for it?
I don't know yet. I've put up for chairman of the bowling club, but I'm not it at the moment, so I'm not.
Okay.
I had nothing to do with it.
So, but you do know about the quote and everything, do you?
No.
You haven't seen
I haven't
that?
seen that.
Okay, all right. Yes, Councillor Thornton.
Costs. I mean, personally, I would like to see that bowling green used to the maximum, and I would like to see it to be one of the best bowling greens in this area. And the reason I say that is because there's very few and far between now that RMBC has been closing them all down.
Okay.
The elephant in the room always comes up, and it's the cost. There's quite a lot of cost associated with this, on top of what we already pay for maintenance to RMBC to come and maintain the ground. The quote we've got here, am I allowed to make the quote? I'm allowed to speak of the quote.
I don't know.
Well, I'm asking the advice through the chair to the
Yeah.
clerk.
This isn't really a quote, this is an article.
Well, it is a quote from the company that's, it's a quote from the company that's going to supply it.
I think probably you shouldn't mention the figures because it isn't a quote to us currently.
Right,
This
well,
is
can I just
this has
say,
been commissioned by...
I think there could well be competitive quotes coming in against that.
right, can I just say then that the quotes are quite substantial, in my opinion, very substantial. Well, the reason I mentioned the money is, again, where as a council, we're asked to be making cuts to various things, because certain groups want this and we need this, we have maintenance of the recreation ground, etc. But on top of the quotes that they're giving here, which actually I find quite odd, because you would expect the quote for people to come and do the installation would be bigger than
That's right.
the other supply only option, which is a bit odd, and that's beside the point. But on top of this quite hefty quote, there's also other costs to add on. For instance, the electrician's fees for putting sockets, electrical sockets and connections. There's the fitting and installation of the tank, which again would have to be done correctly for safety reasons. It quotes 100 man-hours with volunteers. Well, again, I would argue, because we are a charity, we have to look at health and safety. So it can't really, there will be a cost involved in ensuring there's an inspection done at the end. And on top of that, it doesn't make any mention in here of what the increase, if there is any, of the cost of water to the charity of the council. So I think before we would sit around and say, yes, we approve this, I would say there's quite a lot of work needs to be done financially to bring us figures and put figures in front of us, almost to the point of minute figures, so we can make informed decisions, because we would have to factor it into next year's budget. And again, as I said, there's lots of, as you say, people asking for money from different areas.
Could I just ask, you say it's a charity.
Yeah.
Are we a charity as the bowling club? Can we apply for grants as the bowling club?
Yes.
Or is it because we're part of a bigger thing, we can't?
As a bowling club, and again, I'm not going for correction if I'm wrong, you are a community group. And if you're a community group, you are in your own right as a group. If you have a membership and you pay fees to your bowling club and everything, you're a community group.
Constitution.
And if you have a constitution, you are able to go to various places to ask for grants.
Right.
So it's quite feasible, I would imagine, that you could go somewhere and ask for a grant.
Okay,
But again,
But wouldn't be overriding the council, that's what
you
I'm
would
saying.
have to liaise with the council, with charity.
I think
Can I just explain this? What is it? The charity is in effect run by the council. But all the land around here, the recreation ground and the bowling green, come under the charity. So you have to liaise again with the clerk through the charity.
Mike.
Thank you.
I believe the quotation, the top quotation is for the materials, and the second quotation is for installation of those materials. So it's not that the installation is less than the materials.
Add them two together.
Add them two together.
So are we saying, sorry, I just interrupted you. So are we saying now then, the option one, that figure there,
Yeah.
is also as option two? Are we saying,
In addition to.
so we're saying that's
That-
what it'll
that
cost,
plus
and
the
that's going to cost on top? Well, that's double what I was thinking before then.
Clive.
Can I just make
Sorry, Mike.
Sorry,
Mike. Yeah, and then Clive.
I mean, it has been mooted that the club may possibly be in a position to contribute half. but I can't confirm that because the chairman's not here.
Clive?
Can I just make one or two suggestions? Having read through it, I think it's just a standard quotation actually that I'm not sure whether it's Council Ireland that's been in contact with them or the Bowls Club as a whole. I think it's just a standard quote that this guy has sent through. I think what we need to do is, I'm aware that your elections and what have you in later this month, is that,
Yes, that's
is that right? I think what we need to do is when we know who's going to be chairman of the committee of the Bowling Club, we actually sit down with them and discuss what their views on this are and how we can work together to try and get this installed. I think we, as I said, this is just a one, it's just a quote, a standard quote, and he's just put the figures in. I think what we need to do is look at getting quotes from other sources on a like-for-like basis, which is what Michael would suggest, I'm sure, because on this one, this doesn't include this, it doesn't include that, it doesn't include the other, and that may work, that may not work. So it's a bit sort of iffy, the figures that he's put together, because he does talk about a large water tank being installed outside the bowling pavilion, but something of that capacity would have to be on something stable so it didn't fall over or get damaged, etc. So I think there are a lot of other issues that one looking at, but as I say, I think we need to sit down, you know, after you've sort of your committee structure and everything else, because as Councillor Dalton says, you're in a position to apply for grant because you've got a committee, a constitution, a bank account, everything else that fulfills that criteria, so there's no reason why you shouldn't do that. But I think we need to sit down with you and have a proper discussion on how we can work this thing out. It would benefit the green.
Councillor Beck?
And if we get the new bowling pavilion built, we can incorporate it all in there.
Yes, Chair, I concur with everything that's been said pretty much. I think if we move to agree in principle that we work with the bowling club to come up with some sort of way of financing this, whether it's, you know, we make a contribution and external funding in the bowling club themselves. I mean, it is a very good bowling green. I get comments from other areas in Rotherham who always say Anston's one of the best places to play.
One of the places.
Sorry?
It's one of only the places out of all the cuts from Rotherham.
I don't think that's correct, but that's what I'd like to do.
It's one of the best
We've
ones.
voted for the cuts, did you
So
not?
that's a proposal from Councillor Beck. Is there a seconder for that?
So what was the
I thought
proposal?
that was
Sorry, did you?
Yeah, but
Did
so
you
that's,
make, was it?
that's the proposal I made, that we sit down and talk to the
I'll second
bowling
it,
club
Chair.
Okay.
when
Yeah,
the new
I'll-
chairman, whoever it may be, and the committee are elected, we sit down and have a proper conversation.
I think what Dominic's point is that we agree in principle to the proposal. Are you not wanting to have that in?
Oh yeah, I'm probably that. I think that one of these systems being installed at Shire, so it might be a good idea if when we have that meeting, we go down and have a look and see what they've got there and see how it works.
Can we just check,
Workshop's got one as
can we
well.
just check that your proposal is an in principle agreement,
Yeah.
and then we sit down with the new elected chairman and have a discussion as to how to proceed?
Yeah.
That's your proposal.
Yes.
Dominic, is that?
Yes,
what
no,
you're
that's fine.
seconding?
Yeah.
All those in favour? Yeah. Thank you very much. Grounds including Duke of Leeds Way. Councillor Jepson to receive update on football pitch hire.
Yeah, not me to supply it, just to ask for an update, basically.
In
I
terms
think,
of,
well, how many teams we've got playing on there, and have they signed up to the agreement that we decided to draw up for this year? It's really, I don't know where we stand with that. I haven't had anything back from Michael, Marion, Chabot as to whether that's been put in place.
The agreement was sent out. Now, whether anybody's actually signed it and sent it back, I don't know.
So,
But there are two teams, and we've had a deposit in one.
right, so we need a deposit from the other, don't we? So we
can we ask Siobhan to write to you, email?
Yeah, I want to, as I say, I need to know
response?
if one team's playing on there and they've not paid the deposit, then that's not fair on the other team that have this, apparently.
So your issues are deposit, who's playing,
Yeah,
and when they're playing.
yeah. I've got a list anyway of the two teams. I think it's Anstonians and Little Mester.
Is one of them on a Saturday?
No, I don't think that. Saturday team is playing, or was somebody playing on Saturday?
Somebody was
Well,
playing on Saturday.
From what Michael
With a
said,
referee.
what Michael said, no team had signed up for Saturday afternoon, so I think we need to check that out, whether somebody's actually playing for free, when another two teams are going to be paying.
I was a bit
Monday.
surprised.
Well, I was going to come
go
down
to
on
the,
Saturday and I didn't get around to it to see if they were playing. Can I just ask Mr. Kavanagh, just whether, I know he only lives locally, I mean, you were, well, obviously there was a game on there on Saturday. Is that the first, do you know if they've been playing before?
Yeah, second game.
Second game. So
we need to check that out.
well,
as
we need, yeah, because if it's the Rag League team, it's over 35, I think they played on there. We need to know they are, because if they play 2 matches, they've not paid for them. And that's, as I say, again, that's not fair with the
There's
two.
quite a lot of choice language as well, which I think
Was there?
is
Well,
fair
that's
to-
another issue,
to-
because that's part of the agreement, that they sort of behave themselves in the vicinity and don't upset people.
Councillor Thornton.
Yeah, can I just say, I'm starting to get slightly worried. Meeting after meeting after meeting, the same old things come up about the football fees not being paid. I mean, I'm not sure now whether we've had all the fees paid from last year. It's not a hard thing to do. If a team pays the fees, they're quite entitled to pay. But if people are not paying fees, the first thing is, why are we allowing them to pay without them, play without them paying? Well, the other thing is, why are the staff not telling these teams that they can't play? We employ staff to carry out functions of the council. And I believe we have a problem, and the problem is this, is people are employed to carry out a job. And if that job's not being done, it needs to be brought back to the council for us to make decisions. It goes on and on and on. It's not rocket science collecting fees.
Can I, sorry, Mike, can I mean, I've been the sort of instigator of this agreement and what have you. Can I come down to the office and sit down with Siobhan and try and sort this out? Because I've got to, it's easy to find out what matches teams have got because the leagues are published in the Advertiser every few weeks, so you know exactly how many Anstonians and Little Mester are playing. But if they're playing in the over 35, which is a Sheffield league, it's a bit harder to find out. But from all accounts, that's 2 games that have been played there. You've complained and said the language was pretty bad on Saturday, which, you know, to be fair, that's what we're trying to cut out, and sort of other toilet habits that some of them appear to have, and it's not fair. And I don't think we should, again, Kevin's obviously where we play, but it's not his remit to go in there and stop them playing or ask them who they are. It's down to us to try and sort that. And as I say,
He not with me, I'm next door.
well, it's unfair on the teams, you know. We've soon gone after them. They've paid for one, it's paid the deposit, and
Mike wants to speak,
it's not right.
I mean, the Anstonians and Little Mester are sending us an email every week or fortnight telling us what the fixtures are.
Yeah.
So that's not a problem. Like I say, we're not aware of any other team officially playing. The problem with seeing these people at the weekend is that the staff don't work on a weekend. But having said that, there's no reason why councillors couldn't volunteer.
Well, I was going to come down and check at the weekend, and I got something else to do. Otherwise, I thought there may well be a case just to go down and have a look at it. As I say, the problem is that, you know, they're going to damage the pitch on the Saturday if we don't know the play.
I think what else is important is, I mean, I had no idea whether the pitch was booked or not, so I wasn't about to go and inquire with them as to whether they were playing on it. But you would assume that if somebody's brought a referee with them, that
It's all set.
that it's all sort of booked, because yes.
Would it be helpful if an email was sent to councillors on a weekly basis saying who we are expecting to play that weekend? And then if anybody happens to be in the vicinity and we see somebody playing when we're not expecting to be playing,
Go and find out who they are.
There is one
Would
other.
members be happy with that proposal?
There is one other way. The over 35s team normally use the cricket club bar on a Sunday afternoon, I think, when they played. So we can soon find out just by contacting the cricket club and asking who, because they normally have playing
It's
things
a
and stuff
Saturday.
like that. Saturday afternoon, sorry. Well, they open the bar up on the Saturday afternoon during the winter, because it's out buying peas and beer afterwards. So if they're selling that, they must have an agreement with some team to use that, so we can find out. Maybe if Siobhan or Mary can contact and just, I know it's a bit sort of like doing a bit of detective work, find out what they are, and if they're going to be doing it on a regular basis, then we need to nip it in the bud, don't we? Stop
Okay.
them doing it.
So, yes.
Excuse me. I'll try and pop down Saturday afternoons.
Okay, that would be splendid, thank you. Yeah.
But I'd say if we can ask the cricket club as well, they can.
Clive, I'll make a comment for you.
Excuse me, Chair, can't speak unless we're invited to speak.
Forget it.
Well, I'll suggest that Mr. Cameron be allowed to speak if anybody else is
Okay.
saying that.
Could somebody second that? Yeah, Mr. Cabinet, thank you.
Cricket club have a sheet of people who use showers in their facilities.
Right.
And if you get in touch with Alan Bollins,
Yeah.
he will have that sheet which you can copy. And anybody who's using showers is obviously using pitch.
Yeah.
So your teams will be wrote down on that agenda. Therefore, then if you find that there's a team that's not using shower facilities at the club, they're obviously not paying for pitch either, are they?
Yeah.
Thank you very much, that's
No,
very
thank you.
helpful.
We'll
Yeah.
Could I just say that you've got to be aware that they play at home 1 week and away the next.
Yes.
So you might go down this week with nobody there.
So next week.
Sorry, 10 minutes.
Yeah, we can sort of.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Moving on then. Item 10, Councillor Jepson.
Yes, it's been,
Yes.
to discuss yourself.
Yes. Yes, I'm here to
Yeah,
discuss away.
it's the article, I mean, we've gone through this before.
Yes.
It's the article that was in the advertiser and it
Yes.
says,
Excuse me, Chair, I'm going to stand again. Councillor Jepson's trying to speak on an item he's put on the agenda, and all you've done since he started speaking is saying,
Say
yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
That's speaking over them. Why can't you sit there
I
and
should-
allow
I
people?
should imagine-
So you're doing it to me now.
I should imagine that
You're
if
doing it to
Councillor
me now.
Jepson was going to object to that, he was
Right.
quite
I
able
was
to do it
speaking,
himself.
I was speaking, and now he's speaking over me.
I
I
would
was
like
trying
to
to
sit down.
suggest
I'd
that
like
we
to
need
sit
to...
down now, please,
Excuse me,
Councillor.
I'm trying to speak, and he's still speaking over me. You see,
Sit
but what
down,
you're doing
yeah.
now is, you're
Yes.
pulling standing orders,
I'm
because you
doing-
don't like
yeah.
what I'm saying.
I would like to
That's
sit down
playing
now, please.
politics, and that will get you into trouble.
Chair, we may all disagree, but we must be allowed to respect the ruling of the chair. If the chairman who wants to speak,
Yeah.
he or she should be respected,
So,
because they are chairing this meeting. I'm talking now. They are chairing
Shout
this
at
meeting.
me.
They are chairing
don't
this
shout at
meeting.
me, Mr. Shouty.
Thank you, Dominic, that's most helpful.
The chairman is in charge of these meetings, whether we like it or not, and he or she should be allowed to conduct the meeting in the way they see fit.
So do you agree that council should be given fair and open
I
discussion
think
about
it's
it?
Councillor Jepson's point here.
You won't answer that, because you know I'm right.
well, if I can just,
Yeah.
it's really to seek clarification
Yeah.
from what he said in the press,
Yeah.
which is, I'm not going to attend monthly public meetings. Well, this is a monthly public meeting of the the charity committee, and so is the finance meeting that follows this. So it's really just to I'd like some clarification.
Was my
from
reference in the letter that I sent was that I would feel unable to attend the main parish meeting. Okay, so
Right, is that the
letter.
Guardian
That's the letter.
version or the advertising?
That's the letter from the Guardian,
Right, so
which is
that's
published
different.
as I wrote it.
Right, but
Okay.
it's slightly different because I've read
I
both
can't
and
help
it's
how the
different
report is
from that.
interpreted.
So what you're saying is that it's just the main council meeting that you're not going to attend?
As it stands currently.
Right.
Thank you. Councillor
Yeah.
Thornton.
Yeah, I mean, I know Clive's trying to be getting answers about this. You did make a statement in, I think, both the Guardian and the Advertiser that you wouldn't be attending certain meetings. And in that statement, you accused certain members of the public of bullying. Now, two things. I think you should make it quite clear now, at this meeting, what your status is, to which meetings you will be attending, and in what capacity. And further, I believe, and this is quite important, I believe you should make it public the people who you believe are bullying you. Because if you're not prepared to name the people who are bullying you, and I believe you're trying to score political points on this, if you're not prepared to name the people who are bullying you, I think you should go. You should resign your position.
Thank you for that observation.
So are you going to make your position clear, and I'm going to
position
name the
is
people
that
who
I'm
bullying?
not-
Stop talking over me, will you? Please, stop talking over
You
me.
just asked me to make my position clear.
Right.
That's what you said. You
As
said...
soon as I spoke, you started to talk over me again. Now, I'll ask, just to make things easy, I'll ask you, will you now make your position clear as to what meetings you are going to attend, and will you name the people who you perceive to be bullying you?
I will attend all meetings where good public order is maintained. No, I will not name people who I perceive to be bullying me. I believe that a number of members who attend here, a number of people who attend here, are disruptive and disrespectful, and I'm not particularly intending to name them. Well, that's how it is.
Well, I don't believe
So,
that's...
I've answered your questions
So
now,
you're
Councillor.
talking over me
Yeah, I've
again.
answered your questions
You're talking
now,
over me
and I
again.
think we'll move on to the next
Just because
item.
you're not allowing me to debate again.
I think
I think it's wrong that you're not prepared to name people who you think are disruptive
you
in the
may think
meetings.
that's wrong, but that's my,
No, just
that's my
let me
intention.
just carry on, please, and stop interrupting me with that. The next part is, what the statement you just said about attending meetings is totally different to what you put in the newspaper. So you can't make statements in public in a newspaper and then at a later date come and start changing the story to fit what you want people to hear.
Councillor Beck.
Thanks, Chair. I think the member asked a direct question to the Chair and the Chair gave a direct answer. Whether the member agrees with it or not, they should accept that. I think this is doing little for the benefit of the parish and we should move on, quite swiftly.
Thank you very much.
Nothing like protecting
Item-
party members, is there?
Item 10.2, Councillor Jepson.
Yep.
We have already had quite a
Well,
lot of
we
discussion.
have, yeah. All I would say was, I know, I can't remember how long Councillor Carter was a meeting on Tuesday of last week. I think he left, but I have to say it wasn't a very, I didn't think a very productive meeting at the end of the day. There was a lot of arguing as usual, and I'm going to send an email to Councillor St John anyway on my comments on the meeting. But after the meeting, I contacted CS Spain and I apologised to Raina and John from there for the sort of embarrassment really in the meeting, because we weren't given a fair chance to explain what we were proposing. We had an in-depth discussion on the level of toilet provision, both from yourself and Councillor Senior, which wasn't really relevant to what we were looking at. They were trying to get over what the plans were and what their ideas were for the facilities for the village, and unfortunately it was fairly disruptive, and I think they went away not quite knowing what was going on. I've not had any contact with them since. Raina was going away to work on some of the ideas that came up, but as I say, I wasn't unhappy about the way the meeting went, and I would like to actually try and bring it back to either to a council meeting when we've probably got more people here, and we can actually try and go through it to tell people more of what's gone off. But I said that those are my views at the meeting. It wasn't a sort of really productive one as far as I'm concerned. I think Martin probably summed it up best, that he thought the ideas were really good, and I think they'd be pleased to know that that's what you thought of them, and I'll let them know that. But as I say, it was frequently interrupted. We have sort of getting them down, marching them down, asking questions, and when I asked if people would ask the questions at the end of the meeting once you'd gone through the presentation, that didn't happen. So as I say, I was quite disappointed the way things went.
I have to say, Councillor Jepson, I think you must have been at a different meeting to me.
No, I'm sorry, but
The one that I was at, I thought that the councillors were extremely positive about the actual architectural design. I thought it, and I said so myself, I said it was a lovely design, and Raina was pleased about that, I could see. And, you know, I think it's pertinent to ask questions about toilet facilities and whether they could be fitted in. But, you know, in general, I thought it was a very positive meeting.
We spent 15 minutes discussing toilet provision, which is going to be provided anyway. And then we got on to, Councillor St. for some reason, thought we were going to make an application to the Public Works Loans Board. Now, that's never been part of the discussions, as the clerk well knows. Well, I think he should get up to date then with what's happening, because we've got enough debt owing to the Public Loans Board through the village already, and the idea is that it doesn't cost the community very much at all for what we're trying to do. It's going to be provided by other people, so it was a bit of a red herring, that one, and but then again, that's no surprise really.
Councillor Thornton.
Yeah, I was listening earlier on to the discussion about the email that Councillor St John has sent, because it appeared, I was at that meeting, there was myself, Clive, Councillor Dalton, Councillor Calder, Councillor Grimley and Councillor St John. It seems that there's an email going round regarding that meeting, and I don't appear to have been copied into it. Well, you possibly haven't, but you weren't at the meeting. I mean, I would have expected that if emails are going on about meetings, I would have been copied in. It appears I'm not being copied in, so I'm going to investigate that further. Let me just go on the negativity. there was negativity there, and let's be honest, because that's what's lacking on this table. There was negativity from Councillor St John. He was questioning why we were putting changing rooms into the pavilion block we're proposing. I mean, it's quite obvious we haven't got any changing rooms. We're trying to make a facility for the public to use. He was very negative about that, and one or two other things. So we can all have different opinions how meetings go, but we ought to be truthful about what we're saying in public. And we'll be very interested to see what this email says. Because if I'm being deliberately left out of emails, I regard that as a form of bullying.
Okay, Martin.
All I can, you know, I did see the email which was a query from Ian about the working group and did it include the pavilion. Michael replied and said yes it did, and the reply was very, I think it was 3 or 4 words from Ian that
Was it
just
nothing else
said,
he could say?
well, you know, whether it was, but the item on here is about the email. And Ian did say, yes, seems a good idea, makes sense, and that was the reply to the email. So I don't think there was a lot more.
So why was I left out of it then?
I don't know.
Can I just clarify that?
That's
I have asked the clerk to copy Councillor Thornton in on this email. He wasn't included in it. It was sent to the other attendees and Michael. It was sent to the clerk because Michael obviously been involved in this all the way through. But Councillor Thornton wasn't included. Now I don't know why that was so. You know why that was so. But he was at the meeting, and I have emailed Michael. I don't know if he's got the email asking him to forward that Ian's email and Michael's response to Council Dunn, because I thought it was unfair he was left out of the loop in that respect. So that should be, hopefully they'll be done, and you'll have a copy of that. But I thought it was a bit remiss not to do that, irrespective of what they might think of each other. And at times, I think it's common courtesy to include people in an email rather than when they were there at that meeting. So I take a dim view of that one as well, I must admit.
Okay, that's a shame. Okay.
That's a shame.
Item 11.
That's a shame. It's not a shame when people are deliberately leaving council.
To resolve to exclude the press and
You appear
public
to
due to
condone
the
it.
confidential nature of the business to be transacted. I don't think we have any. No? Okay. And so the date and time of the next meeting is going to be the 3rd of November at 7 p.m. Okay, so to be aware, that is a change of day. So the date and time next is Monday the 3rd. Because we have a bonfire on, is it?
It's safe Monday.
Yes.
I'm saying normally it's Wednesdays, isn't it?
Normally
Oh, right.
it's Wednesday.
So bonfire nights on Wednesday.
Thank you. Thank you. Councillor Quell.
Yes.